You're surrounded by people, laughing, talking, sharing moments. And yet, there's a strange quietness inside you that no conversation seems to reach. It's a feeling that appears in the middle of noise, a kind of loneliness that doesn't make sense because technically, you're not alone. You might notice it after hanging out with friends. Everyone seemed happy, the jokes were good, the conversation flowed. But when you get home, something feels unfinished, like a sentence that never reached its last word. You sit with your phone for a moment and wonder why connection sometimes feels heavier than it should. This kind of loneliness is confusing because it doesn't match the situation. You have people around you, maybe even good friends. Yet somewhere inside, there's a subtle distance. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet sense that something isn't fully touching the deeper parts of you. Many people assume this means something is wrong with them, that maybe they're bad at socializing, too quiet, too sensitive, or simply not built for connection. But the truth is often the opposite. The people who experience this kind of loneliness are usually the ones who are most aware of emotional signals. Your brain is constantly reading the room. It notices tone, pauses, small shifts in mood. While others simply enjoy the moment, your mind is quietly scanning everything happening beneath the surface. And this ability, while powerful, can sometimes create an unexpected side effect. Psychologists describe this as heightened social awareness. Your brain's mirror neuron system is highly active. Mirror neurons are what allow us to understand other people's emotions. They help you sense joy, tension, discomfort, or excitement even before someone says a word. But when that system becomes very sensitive, it starts detecting tiny signals that most people never notice. A half-second pause in someone's voice, a slight shift in body language, a moment when someone's attention drifts away. Your brain collects these signals automatically. And here's where loneliness quietly appears. Because the brain is wired for pattern detection, it constantly asks one silent question: do I belong here? When it senses uncertainty, even in small amounts, the emotional centers of the brain begin to activate, not because there is real rejection, but because the brain is trying to protect you. The amygdala, which acts like the brain's alarm system, becomes slightly more alert. It interprets subtle social ambiguity as a possible threat, not a physical threat, but an emotional one, the kind that humans have evolved to care deeply about. For thousands of years, belonging to a group meant survival. Being excluded meant danger. So the brain learned to take even small social signals very seriously. This means your loneliness may not actually come from a lack of people. It may come from your brain constantly evaluating whether you truly feel understood in the moment. And when the answer feels uncertain, even slightly, your mind pulls inward. You might still smile, you might still participate in the conversation, but internally, a small distance appears. It's like standing in the same room as everyone else, yet feeling one step outside the circle. The strange part is that the people around you usually have no idea this is happening. From the outside, everything looks normal, but inside your mind, the experience feels different. This is why you might sometimes feel exhausted after social interactions, even if they were pleasant. Your brain has been processing far more information than most people realize. It has been analyzing tone, meaning, reactions, and emotional safety the entire time. Imagine your mind as a radar system. Most people's radars scan the big signals. Yours scans everything, including the quietest frequencies. And while that sensitivity can create loneliness, it also comes from something valuable: emotional intelligence. The same awareness that sometimes makes you feel distant is also what allows you to understand people deeply. It helps you notice when someone is struggling. It allows you to sense emotions others miss. The goal isn't to remove that sensitivity, it's to change how you respond to it. One simple shift begins with naming the experience. When you notice that quiet loneliness during a social moment, you can gently acknowledge it in your mind. Just noticing it activates the brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for reflection and emotional regulation. When that area becomes active, the emotional alarm system begins to calm down. The brain moves from reaction to observation. Another helpful shift is allowing connection to exist in smaller forms. Many people imagine connection as a big emotional moment, but in reality, most meaningful bonds are built from quiet, ordinary interactions. A small shared laugh, a short conversation about something simple, a few minutes of genuine presence. When you stop expecting every moment to feel deeply connected, your brain relaxes, the pressure disappears, and connection begins to feel more natural again. It can also help to occasionally share small, authentic thoughts during conversations. Not dramatic confessions, just simple pieces of yourself. Something you noticed today, something you've been thinking about. These small signals tell the brain that authenticity is safe. Over time, your internal radar begins to see evidence of real connection rather than searching for signs of distance. And something interesting begins to happen. Instead of feeling like an observer in social spaces, you slowly feel like a participant again. Not because the people around you changed, but because your brain stopped interpreting every subtle signal as uncertainty. The loneliness that once appeared in crowded rooms starts to soften, and you begin to realize something important. Connection was never completely missing. Your mind was simply looking for it in a very precise way. When you allow connection to exist in imperfect forms, your emotional radar becomes less tense. It still senses deeply, but it no longer assumes distance where there may be only quiet space. And sometimes that quiet space is where the most genuine connection slowly grows. So the next time you feel lonely around others, remember this. Your brain isn't broken. It's attentive, it's sensitive, it's searching for real understanding. And with a little awareness, that same sensitivity can guide you not away from people, but gently back toward them.